Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, as the three major Abrahamic religions, share common roots in their belief systems but have gradually diverged into three distinct religious systems due to differences in doctrine, rituals, and historical development. Over thousands of years, these religions have evolved and influenced each other, while also engaging in intense conflicts and wars due to religious disputes. In modern times, relations among the three religions have eased to some extent, and dialogue and cooperation have been promoted to foster peace. However, understanding the relationship between these religions still requires exploring various aspects, including their historical origins, doctrinal differences, historical conflicts, and contemporary dialogues. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are all referred to as Abrahamic religions because they all recognize Abraham, or Ibrahim, as a common patriarch. In all three religions, Abraham is regarded as a foundational figure and a sacred person, and the origins, development, and spread of these religions are rooted in his faith. However, despite their shared origins, their respective histories, cultural backgrounds, and theological developments have created significant differences, ultimately resulting in the formation of distinct belief systems. Judaism originated around 2000 BCE in Mesopotamia and is the oldest monotheistic religion in the world. Its core belief centers on the worship of God, Yahweh, and the covenant relationship between God and the Jewish people, whom God chose as his chosen people and to whom he gave the law through Moses. The teachings of Judaism are primarily recorded in the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, which includes the Torah, the prophets, and the writings. Jewish law strictly regulates the lives, morals, and rituals of the Jewish people, forming a closed and highly regulated religious system. Judaism places particular emphasis on observing laws and rituals, such as the Sabbath, circumcision, and dietary restrictions. The strong sense of chosenness and adherence to Jewish law has provided the Jewish people with a strong religious identity and national cohesion throughout history, enabling them to survive persecution and diaspora. However, this sense of chosenness has also led to historical hostility and exclusion from other religions and nations. Christianity originated in the 1st century CE in the region of Palestine, and its founder, Jesus, was himself a Jew, drawing heavily from Jewish teachings. Christianity teaches that Jesus is the Messiah, sent by God to save humanity, and this belief forms the core of Christian faith. Unlike Judaism, which emphasizes law, Christianity focuses more on internal faith, forgiveness, and redemption, believing that eternal life is attainable through faith in Jesus. Christianity's sacred text is the New Testament, which contains accounts of Jesus' life, teachings, and letters from the apostles. Although Christianity initially emerged as a sect within Judaism, it gradually separated from Judaism after the death of Jesus. Under the influence of the Apostle Paul, Christianity spread beyond Jewish communities to Gentiles, eventually developing into an independent religious system. In the 4th century, when Christianity was declared the state religion of the Roman Empire, it spread rapidly and evolved into a universal religion, spreading across Europe, the Mediterranean, and the Middle East. Christianity's shift from a closed, Jewish-based belief system to a globally oriented religion helped it later dominate religious conflicts. Islam originated in the 7th century on the Arabian Peninsula, with the Prophet Muhammad as its founder. Islam shares close ties with both Judaism and Christianity. In his revelations, Muhammad encountered the beliefs of these religions and believed that he received the final revelation from the one true God, becoming the last prophet. Islam teaches that Allah is the only God and that prophets such as Abraham, Moses, and Jesus were also messengers of God, with Muhammad being the final prophet. The Quran, Islam's sacred text, is regarded as the ultimate revelation from God. Within a few decades of its founding, Islam spread rapidly and became a cohesive religious system in the Arab world. As the Arab Empire expanded, Islam spread to the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, and parts of Europe, becoming one of the world's major religions. Islam inherited monotheism from Judaism and Christianity but emphasized the finality of Muhammad's revelations, creating a distinct theological position that has led to complex historical relations with other religions. Jerusalem is a sacred city revered by all three religions, and it holds significant religious symbolism for each. For Judaism, Jerusalem is the God-given land and the site of the Davidic kingdom and Solomon's temple. For Christianity, it is the place of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, a pilgrimage destination for Christians. Islam regards Jerusalem as the site of the Prophet Muhammad's night journey and ascension to heaven, making it the third holiest city for Muslims. Judaism sees Jerusalem as the holy place where God made a covenant with the Israelites. According to the Bible, it is where Abraham offered a sacrifice to God and where King Solomon built the temple. In 70 CE, the Roman Empire destroyed the temple, leading to the Jewish diaspora, but the belief in Jerusalem as the Holy Land persisted, with the rebuilding of the temple viewed as a symbol of religious renewals. For Christians, Jerusalem is the site of Jesus' martyrdom and resurrection, giving it profound religious significance. After Christianity became the state religion of the Roman Empire, many Christians began to make pilgrimages to Jerusalem, considering it the center of their faith. During the Middle Ages, European Christians launched several crusades to reclaim Jerusalem and protect Christian holy sites, leading to centuries of conflict with the Islamic world. In Islam, Jerusalem is the location of Muhammad's night journey and ascension. The Quran mentions that Muhammad traveled by night from Mecca to Jerusalem, where he ascended to heaven. The Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem is a symbol of Islamic faith and one of the holiest sites for Muslims. Thus, Jerusalem occupies an important place in Islamic belief. The religious conflicts among the three faiths are not only rooted in doctrinal differences, but have also manifested in violent confrontations throughout history. The Crusades and anti-Semitic movements are notable examples of religious conflicts that reflect both theological opposition and the complex relationship between political power and religious belief. The Crusades were religious wars between Christians and Muslims, primarily aimed at recapturing Jerusalem and its surrounding holy sites. The Crusades spanned from 1096 to the late 13th century, with 8 major wars. Although religious faith was a significant motivator, political and economic factors also played a role. Christians believed that reclaiming Jerusalem would bring salvation, leading many to sacrifice their lives for the cause. However, the Crusades ultimately failed to achieve their goal, and they deepened the divide between Christianity and Islam, leaving a lasting historical trauma. As Christianity became the dominant religion, Jews were often discriminated against and persecuted, especially in medieval Europe. Anti-Semitism was widespread, and Jews were blamed for the death of Jesus, leading to hostility from Christian communities. Jews were expelled, isolated, and subjected to massacres. The pogroms in 19th century Russia and the Holocaust during World War II are among the most horrific examples of anti-Semitism, leaving a profound impact on Jewish identity and religious faith. Despite the conflicts, theological and cultural exchanges among the three religions have never ceased. In particular, during the Islamic Golden Age in the Middle Ages, Islamic, Christian, and Jewish scholars engaged in theological dialogue and philosophical research, contributing significantly to human thought and scientific advancement. The period from the 8th to the 12th centuries was the Islamic Golden Age, during which Islamic civilization made remarkable achievements in science, philosophy, medicine, and mathematics. The Islamic world encouraged cultural openness, allowing Jewish and Christian scholars to conduct academic research within its territory, fostering intellectual exchanges between religions. For example, the renowned Jewish philosopher Maimonides grew up in an Islamic society, and his works were deeply influenced by Islamic philosophy, having a lasting impact on both Jewish and Christian thought. Apocalyptic literature is another area of cultural exchange between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The sacred texts of these religions, such as the Bible and the Quran, discuss human origins, eschatology, and salvation. Christianity's Book of Revelation and Judaism's Book of Enoch influenced Islamic eschatological views, while the Quran also drew on some narratives from Judaism and Christianity. These intertextual influences enriched each religion's doctrinal system and contributed to humanity's intellectual heritage. In modern society, globalization and information technology have brought new changes to the relationship between the three religions. Although there have been historical conflicts, interfaith dialogue has increasingly become a means of easing tensions. Many religious groups and organizations now advocate for interfaith cooperation and peaceful dialogue to address the cultural clashes and misunderstandings brought about by globalization. In contemporary times, many religious leaders actively promote interfaith dialogue. For example, the Catholic Church introduced the concept of interfaith dialogue during the Second Vatican Council, calling for increased exchange between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Some Islamic groups have proposed the concept of common human concerns, advocating for interfaith dialogue and inclusivity. International organizations, such as the United Nations, have also promoted interfaith dialogue to resolve regional conflicts and social instability through the influence of religious leaders. While progress has been made in interfaith dialogue, challenges remain. On one hand, fundamental theological differences persist, with many holding firm to their belief in the exclusivity of their religion. On the other hand, some extremist religious groups engage in violence in the name of religion, hindering dialogue efforts in certain regions. However, as globalization continues to enhance cultural exchange and technological development, humanity's understanding and tolerance are gradually increasing, and the future holds the potential for reconciliation and peaceful coexistence among the three religions. Despite their significant doctrinal differences, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam share a common historical background and moral values, providing a foundation for dialogue and cooperation. Throughout history, despite the conflicts, efforts toward reconciliation and peace have never ceased. Globalization and the rise of information technology offer new opportunities for interfaith dialogue, and the future relationship among the three religions may become more harmonious and inclusive. By embracing cultural diversity and promoting tolerance, humanity can move toward a future of peaceful coexistence, transcending religious differences.